you're preparing your trip to Japan, you're probably wondering what to bring. As a tour guide who's living in Japan for 10 plus years and as someone who's traveling a lot, I've got a pretty extensive list. Let me share with you what most tourists get wrong when packing for Japan. Number one, I want to talk about luggage. First of all, a lot of tourists are bringing too much to Japan. Overpacking is a thing. I am usually bringing one big suitcase that I'm going to check in when flying and one backpack. And really that's about it. Maybe a tote bag. Tote bags are very convenient because you can fold them and you can put them either into your big suitcase or your backpack. I'm using this one because I can also put my laptop in here in case I want to work when I'm traveling. Obviously, you can also size down and get a smaller backpack. And then if you're only coming for a short period of time, you can also size down to a hand luggage size suitcase. Another thing most tourists don't think about is that they might want to leave some space for souvenirs. And there are several options. Even if you're not planning on buying a lot of souvenirs, I'd recommend you maybe to have a little bit of space left. Because Japan is a country where you will find tons of unique items. Option number one is that you just leave some space in your big suitcase for souvenirs. Option number two, and many people don't think about that, send it home via mail. Like, make a small package at the end of the day. It's incredibly easy to prepare a little package. About this size should cost you around maybe 50 USD. Option number three, buy another suitcase in Japan. The go-to place to buy a new suitcase would be Don Quijote. What some people also do is a little bit excessive, but you can also put a small suitcase inside a really big suitcase. I recently heard many times that tourists seem to be leaving empty suitcases at their hotel, and the hotel has to get rid of those empty suitcases. I don't know how it is in other countries, if it's okay to leave an empty suitcase in your hotel in another country. But the thing is, it's a problem here, and it can just lead to making it harder for travelers in the future who are coming to Japan. So just FYI, another thing that a lot of people do, and I don't quite understand why, partly I can, but partly I can't, is that they're carrying around their luggage here in Tokyo. It's just obstructing everyone else around them if you're in a very crowded area. Especially if it's like larger groups. Like if it's like one person, well, okay. I feel a lot of the time it's very unnecessary. There are coin lockers at every station in Japan. Yes, it costs a little bit of money, but isn't it nicer to spend 500 yen on a coin locker and then just walking around the city without this? Or you ask your hotel to keep it for you when you're checking out, or if you check in early. That being said, luggage delivery services are very affordable and easy to use. Sagawa is doing that, Kuroneko is doing that. They make it pretty easy and affordable for you to bring your luggage, not only maybe from the airport to your hotel, or from one city to the next city if you're traveling between cities. That being said, a lot of tourists are also bringing too much. So in the next part of the video, I want to talk about the things that you really need when coming to Japan and things that you don't need. I want to start with the necessities. One thing that you want to have in Japan, even though you can't bring it from your own country, but you're going to get it at the airport, is an IC card for the train. You can either download the digital IC card, Suica, on your phone if you have an iPhone, or you can buy one of the Suicas at the airport, or you can buy them at any train station, really. I don't even really need to say that, but you need, of course, your passport. Many people don't know that, but in Japan, you're legally required to carry around your passport when you are outside. Then also, I mean, it can be useful for tax-free shopping. Some hotels are going to request you to make a copy of your passport. That's very normal in Japan. A lot of people don't like that. That's a whole different story. But I also feel like I kind of wanted to mention it here so that you're not surprised. It's normal in Japan. If you want to rent a car in Japan, you need to bring your original driver's license. You need to bring either a translation, which you can print out here in Japan as well, or the international driver's permit. There's a whole separate video about this topic. Bring some cash to Japan. Japan is one of the few countries where cash is still very important. Again, I've been traveling a lot, and everywhere I used my credit card, and then I came back to Japan. One of the first things I did was get my IC card. And in order to buy the IC card, in order to charge the IC card, the physical one, you need cash. You can get cash literally at any ATM here in Japan. Bring some cash. How much should you bring? Start with either 20-ish 30,000 yen. If you are in Tokyo, you don't need as much cash. But if you're outside of Tokyo, the amount of places that won't only accept cash is going to increase tremendously. If you need to print out any documents, you want to bring those. For example, there's a lot of things that you want to book in advance before coming to Japan. Maybe check in advance if there are any tickets that you have booked where you need to print out the documents for that. Health insurance, I don't think you always need to do that, but like just in worst case scenario, print out a document for your health insurance, your hotel address, in case your Wi-Fi doesn't work, print out your hotel address on a piece of paper to show it to your taxi driver in case you need to take a taxi somewhere. That being said, if you're coming to Japan, there are a lot of things that you can also buy here. So in case you forget something, don't worry too much. If you need some toiletries, you can go to a drugstore, you can go to a convenience store, they usually have it. The problem is, however, that Japan is not importing a lot of products, so every product that you're going to find here is Japanese, language is Japanese, and you need to figure out how it looks like and which kind of brand would be best for you. So I would not, on purpose, just leave a lot of stuff at home and then try to buy it here. That being said, there is one thing that I would highly recommend you not to forget. As a tour guide, I had this like 2 times already that I was showing around families and they had forgotten an important medicine. And their doctors in Germany had told them that they would be able to easily get it in Japan, which is not true. You can buy some medication at drugstores, but it's usually very simple medication, over-the-counter stuff. So if you want a very specific medication, first of all, they might not have it at all. They might give you at the end of the day something that's similar, but not exactly the same. For most medications, you need to go to a doctor and get a receipt. And then there's the question, is there a doctor close by that can speak English? How expensive is it going to be? Because you maybe need to pay in advance for everything. Also, what you want to know is there are some types of medicines that are banned in Japan. Many ADHD medications in the US are not allowed in Japan. That is just one example. I'm now going to tell you what kind of electronics you need to bring to Japan. Japan has different power outlets. You need an adapter, type A adapter for Japan. So if you want to buy electronics in Japan, also think about that. This is an adapter that works in nearly every country. You want to bring your phone when you're coming to Japan. Usually most people nowadays want to bring a camera. I would recommend you to go lightweight on your electronics because they can also be really tough to carry that around. But it depends on you. If you have lots of electronics, you can also get something like this. This is my personal favorite. I take this everywhere I go because sometimes in Japanese hotel you have like one outlet. I don't know how many electronics you're carrying. If you just have your phone, you're fine. But if you need to charge several things at the same time, get one of these little thingies. Then, as I already mentioned, charging cables. Incredibly important for Japan though, is a power bank. You're going to be outside a lot and there are not many opportunities to charge your stuff. I always have to charge my phone. iPhone battery is like still... Second, if you have a pocket Wi-Fi, you might want to have a power bank because without pocket Wi-Fi, no Wi-Fi. Even though I wouldn't necessarily recommend pocket Wi-Fis. Pocket Wi-Fis are good if you are in a group. I made a separate video about pocket Wi-Fis and getting Wi-Fi in Japan, by the way. eSIMs are nowadays the easiest way to have Wi-Fi. Let's talk about clothes. Walking shoes, sneakers. Please bring shoes that you can walk in for a long time. Everyone's walking a lot here in Tokyo or in Japan in general. I mean, I feel like that's normal when you're traveling. So yesterday I walked about 12,000 steps and it was like a half-day tour. So if you're outside for the whole day, it might get up to 20,000 steps very easily. I'd recommend you to bring 2 pairs of shoes at least. A really good pair of sneakers or like walking shoes, and maybe, depending on if you're coming in the summer or winter, nice shoes. In the summer you want to have something light. In the winter you need some boots. At least bring 2 pairs because if you're walking so much every day, you want to change your shoes from time to time also. If all of that fails, buy some here. There are tons of shops where you can get shoes. Another thing that you want to know is if you're in Japan, there are a lot of places where you have to take off your shoes. Many people don't know that they have to leave on their socks, and that can sometimes be a problem in the summer. If you're walking around with sandals but you don't wear socks, you want to have an additional pair of socks in your bag. If you're going inside, you have to take off your shoes. you shouldn't go in barefoot. Clothes. Well, first of all, Japan has 4 seasons. I would even say 5 seasons if you count the rainy season. Currently we have June, we have rainy season, and wow, the weather is so different. What kind of clothes you should bring depends on which region you go to. Hokkaido is very cold. The south, like Kyushu, is very hot. In any case, check the weather forecast. Because even in Tokyo, it can be raining suddenly and suddenly temperatures drop like 10 degrees from one day to the next. In the winter, it's getting pretty cold, not as cold as in Europe, but it's getting pretty cold and the insulation is really bad in Japan. In the winter, you want to bring long sleeves. The summer is going to be super hot, so you want to bring short sleeved stuff. Spring and autumn is going to be very mixed, so layers. Fashion style is very different in Japan, and there are certain things that would be a little bit inappropriate to wear here, especially showing a lot of skin, and that can be an issue in the summer. I know it's so hot, but Japanese people are still going to wear this. Not everywhere. Like if you're going to Harajuku, feel free to wear the craziest thing, but if you're going to a temple or a shrine, you should think about what you're wearing, because these are sacred places. Let's talk about toiletries. You would be surprised how many toiletries and stuff your hotel already provides in Japan. Hotels, even if it's a cheaper hotel, are going to provide you with everything that's necessary. But still, check with your hotel in advance if they have that or not. When I'm traveling in Japan, I usually take my toothbrush. I personally don't like the toothbrushes they sell here, most of them. Oh, let me show you how they look like. These are the ones they provide you at hotels. They're very tiny, very small. And I never really have the feeling that they're cleaning my teeth the way I want them to be cleaned. Something I always take when traveling and that many people don't talk about enough is tissues and wet tissues. In Japan, by the way, they only have tissues on 99% of the cases. In Japan, they use these kind of very thin tissues. Blowing your nose in Japan is also not normal, not common. Japanese people don't blow their nose in public. Second thing that I always bring with me when traveling anywhere, wet tissues. You also might want to bring hand sanitizer. Public bathrooms sometimes don't provide soap, sometimes don't provide like something to dry your hand with. Many Japanese people have, for that purpose, a little hand towel with them. Something I personally always take anywhere, and not really this one, but like a cream, because the air can be really dry in Japan, but also the water. Many foreigners have issues when they come here and they start to wash their hair here in Japan. It might be helpful to bring your own shampoo. Very important, deodorant. Japanese people do not sweat as much as we do. Haha. It's incredibly hard to buy deodorant in Japan. They have like 2 or 3 types of deodorant in the whole big, huge drugstore. There's like 1 or 2 bottles of deodorant that you can buy there. Japanese people don't like a very strong smell from perfumes, or there's even a term for that that's called like smell harassment or something like that. So it's not common to use strong perfume and strong deodorants. In our culture, it's not so much of a problem. Imagine like being like on the train in Tokyo with like 500 other people like around you standing there. If you use one, deodorant, perfume, whatsoever, if you bring one, try to find something that has a neutral smell or not so strong. Things that a lot of people don't talk about. Earplugs. Bring earplugs or headphones. Insulation in Japan is horrible. And that can also extend to your hotel. Some hotels are really good, some hotels have probably proper insulation. But I have stayed in a lot of hotels where I heard my neighbors very clearly. And then depending on your neighbors, you're going to have a good time or not. People don't talk about this enough. Plastic bags. I don't know if you knew that, but there are no garbage bins. There was a gas attack in 1995 and they put those into garbage bins. And a lot of people died. So they got rid of all the garbage bins. Japanese people are very considerate towards others, so it works. And Tokyo is one of the cleanest cities you will ever see. One thing is that a lot of people just have a plastic bag in their bag where they can put in all the garbage. For bottles, they have bins. Usually next to a vending machine, there is a place where you can get rid of your plastic bottles and cans. Umbrella. It's rainy season, so you don't necessarily need to bring an umbrella. Some hotels provide umbrellas and you can basically rent one, and then you can buy umbrellas at every corner here in Japan as well, at the convenience store or wherever. But in case you want to make it a little bit easier for you, you have some space left in your luggage, bring a small foldable umbrella when it's raining, but also UV umbrellas that protect you from the heat in the summer. I use sunscreen, and I have an umbrella that's not, I don't think it's a UV umbrella, but it's still better than nothing. When you're coming to Japan and you are not prepared for the heat or the cold, in the front of the drugstore, sometimes at 100 yen shops, sometimes drugstores, sometimes supermarkets, areas where they sell stuff for the summer or winter, yeah? Cooling sheets, they sell everywhere cooling sheets here in Japan, and those are amazing. Fans, portable fans, a hat maybe. The list of things that you don't need to bring is a little bit shorter. First of all, don't bring too many clothes. You can wash your clothes. Many hotels have like washing machines, a coin laundry system, washing machines and dryers and all that. If they don't, you can go to a coin laundry, and there are coin laundries at every corner. If you're coming here for 2 weeks, bring stuff for 1 week and then wash it after 1 week, for example. And then just go to a coin laundry. It just doesn't take that long. They are very cheap. They are like 100, 200, 300 yen. Pajamas. Usually hotels provide a pajama. Many people don't know that. Obviously also towels and other toiletries. I already talked about that. The Japanese pajamas are a little bit different and they might not be super comfortable. So I personally never use them because they have really thick material. I always carry around a water bottle, but there are always convenience stores at every corner and vending machines where you can buy water. Snacks is the same, like you don't necessarily need to bring any types of food or snack. Everything that I mentioned in this video might sound like a lot. It's actually not that bad. If you have the feeling that I missed anything, or if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. As always, if you like this video, give it a like. Maybe also subscribe to this channel. And yeah, thank you so much for watching until the end. I really appreciate it. And I see you then in the next one. Bye bye.